What is up, people on the internet? JQL here, back with another video. In today's video, I'm doing a custom LEGO video on my custom LEGO minifigure from Gundam Mobile Suits, I think, and this is the original RX-78 Gundam. Now, I will admit I am not a Gundam fan. I've only watched one series, but I am vaguely familiar with the franchise. I mean, I'm a sucker for giant robots, so I had to make this figure because I've been in a giant robot mood, I guess. So, yeah, I'm overall very pleased with how this figure turned out. So, anyway, let's get started. Alright, here is the RX-78 Gundam. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I am not a Gundam fan, but the designs are pretty cool for every Gundam. I think they look pretty awesome, and I love the designs for them, or at least every Gundam I've seen so far. And if you're wondering why I made this figure, it's because I felt like making something different. Recently, I've been getting into making some classic or personal favorite characters into LEGO figures, like some other figure. Like, if you follow me on Instagram and Flickr, you'll see them there. So, yeah, anyway, onto the figure. This was not an easy figure to make, not just the sculpt work, but also the paint work. I had to paint everything white, and as many of you know, white paint is the worst paint to work with, but I powered through it, and it turned out pretty clean, considering I used white paint. And some issues with it is that it's really clunky. Some areas might appear a little clunky, and it also stains really easily, so if I accidentally rubbed paint that I already have on my fingers on the white paint's probably going to stain. And also metallic, I didn't use metallic white paint this time because it's a little too shiny to the point where it looks like silver. So, and a lot of people like pointed that out with previous figures I've used metallic white on. So yeah, anyway, with that out of the way, let's talk about the accessories. First of all, you can see he has a purple lightsaber. I just took a white lightsaber hilt and then used a Mace Windu lightsaber piece for that, and I just cut out the inside just because I don't know, I just felt like it would make it different. So yeah, now that that's out of the way, I also did make a weapon, another weapon for him, and it is his gun. Not exactly sure what it's called, but this is a gun I made out of a Indiana Jones pistol. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but you can kind of see what it looks like, what it used to look like. I basically just sculpted everything, and I used the pistol as a base. And yes, it is a bit too oversized, but I really don't mind. It looks pretty cool, especially like if I position him correctly. I don't know. I also did sculpt on the scope. There's not a lot of paint work on this gun. I just kind of painted it black and left it as that. So yeah. Now to the shield. It is a Urukai shield. I think that's what they're called. From the Lord of the Rings series. I sculpted everything you see here onto the shield, and it looks pretty cool. He doesn't hold it in the pictures I've seen him in. It's kind of attached to his arm, but I wanted to make sure I was able to detach it from the arm, so I just made him hold it. So yeah, overall, I think it looks pretty big like it does in the anime, and it does look pretty cool. So removing that, everything else on this figure is pretty much sculpted by me using Procreate. If you don't know what Procreate is, it's basically, let me grab this package. This stuff, it's basically white and black putty. You just mix it in together and it air dries. I recommend letting it wait to dry for like 24 hours. That's the recommendation. For me at least, it kind of dries pretty quick in a couple hours, so I just kind of get impatient and paint it. But, you know, I recommend letting it fully dry before you add more stuff or paint it onto it. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this figure turned out, all the three-dimensional elements on that I sculpted. The entire head is actually fully sculpted, and I'm really pleased with how that turned out. It's not a helmet, it's not removable, but honestly, I'm not too bugged by it. I think it looks pretty cool, and it's not even supposed to be removable in the first place. But yeah, you can remove all the body parts, including the head, so I'm not going to remove it, but yeah. The torso, fully sculpted. That turned out really great. I'm really happy with how that turned out. The arms, fully sculpted and painted. The jetpack, also sculpted and painted, as well as these lightsaber. This is actually where he stores his lightsaber. You know, just the handle, but this is way too big, and I don't think I could have made it removable, and plus it probably hindered articulation, so yeah, I just kind of sculpted it and just left it there, because, yeah, and I mean, it looks cool regardless. So yeah, I also did sculpt the waist right there, and I also made the arms more, like, of a prism shape, like, cubic, kind of. You can kind of see it from certain angles. And the legs, I just sculpted it, and I used white legs, and I didn't bother painting the exposed white legs, because even though they don't match with the white paint I use, I don't really care, because honestly, like, I wanted him to be articulated without, you know, chipping the paint or whatever, so I just kind of left it as is. I could have sanded it, but I already sculpted it, the bits I sculpted on the legs before I could sand it, so I kind of forgot, but, you know, I'm not too bugged by it, and I think, overall, I'm very pleased with this figure, and yeah, it took a lot of reshaping for this three-dimensional parts, but I think it was overall worth it because this figure turned out really great, and it's definitely one of my favorites. So, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for this figure. Now we can just move on to the comparisons. Alright, just to compare my Gundam figure with some other giant robot figures, here's the Iron Giant custom I made a while ago. I think I have a video on it on my channel somewhere, and the reason why I'm showing the Iron Giant with my Gundam figures, not just because they're giant robots, but also they were both in Ready Player One, so I just thought I'd show that. And also, I didn't clarify this earlier, but I didn't use extended arms and legs for this figure because, I don't know, I just didn't think it needed it, and I did it with Bumblebee, my Bumblebee figure, but I don't know why I didn't do it this time. But anyway, on to the next comparison. Speaking of Bumblebee, here he is next to my Gundam figure. Yeah, it's a lot bigger or taller just because, you know, I decided to use extended arms and legs. I think I'm going to stop using those unless it's absolutely necessary for these type of characters because, you know, they're already supposed to be big enough as it is. And since I'm making it into minifigure scale, it's kind of pointless to extend the arms and legs. It just adds more workload. So, yeah, next comparison. Here is the final comparison. It's actually funny because I actually started both these figures around the same time. And I started with the Gundam, and then I actually finished the Power Rangers Megazord before I finished the Gundam. So that's kind of funny. And overall, I'm really pleased with both these figures, and I think they're definitely the best figures in my customized, like, how would I say this? Like, out of all my custom figures. There we go. I'm sorry. I kind of brain farted there. It's been a long day at school. So, yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the comparisons. There's really nothing else I can compare my Gundam to. So, yeah. Anyway, let's just wrap up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, or are a Gundam fan, make sure to give this video a like. And if you like what you see here, you want to see more custom minifigures made by me, then make sure to subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I am always posting more customs here every week. And if you want to see my customs earlier, you can see them before they are finished and during the work in progress stage of the figures I make. Then you can see them on my Instagram and Flickr. Both links are in the description below. And you can see my customs there before I post them here. So, before any of you ask, this custom is not for sale. I do not like selling any of my customs. I make them for me and to show you guys. And especially a figure like this one that I worked really hard on. I think I spent over 2 or 3 weeks on this figure alone. And generally it takes me most of the time, a few days or just one day to complete a single minifigure, but I wanted to do this one justice, so I spent more time on it. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video again, and I'll see you guys in the next video, whenever or whatever video that'll be, and I'll see you guys next time.